Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Ever walked through a local market or a hardware alley and heard vendors shouting out names like PP Crush Dana or Art Toke? It can feel like a completely different language, right? Well, today we're going to decode that secret language. We'll break down these common local terms, explain what they actually are in technical English, and give you an idea of their current market prices. Whether you're in the manufacturing business, a student of engineering, or just a curious mind, this video will give you a unique insight into the world of industrial raw materials. By the end of this, you'll be able to walk into any local market and know exactly what you're looking at. Let's get started. First up in the plastics category is something you hear all the time: PP Crush Dana, especially the yellow kind. In technical terms, this is recycled polypropylene, or PP. It's a thermoplastic polymer, which means it can be melted and reshaped multiple times. This is the stuff that gets turned into everyday items like plastic chairs, buckets, and even some automotive parts. Because it's recycled, it's a cost-effective option for many manufacturers. Right now, you can expect to find it for around 230 to 280 Pakistani rupees per kilogram. So, when you see those colorful plastic goods, there's a good chance they started their life as PP Crush Dana. Next, we have HD Scrap Dana, specifically the washed version. The HD stands for High Density Polyethylene, or HDPE. This is a much stronger and more rigid plastic compared to many others. Think of things that need to be durable, like pipes, large industrial drums, and sturdy containers. The term washed is key here. It means the scrap has been cleaned to remove dirt, labels, and other impurities, making it a better quality raw material for recycling. Its price typically ranges from 210 to 260 rupees per kilogram. So, HD Scrap Dana is the go-to for products that need to withstand some serious wear and tear. Let's move on to something more flexible. You might hear vendors call it LLDPE, Natural Recycle, or sometimes by the local name Stramika. This is recycled linear low-density polyethylene. The key word here is linear low density, which gives it excellent flexibility and tear resistance. This makes it perfect for applications like plastic films, shopping bags, and protective sheets. It's that stretchy, durable plastic you see everywhere. The natural part means it hasn't been colored yet, making it a versatile base material. The going rate for this is about 190 to 240 rupees per kilogram, making it a very popular and economical choice for packaging materials. Now, what if you want to add some color to these plastics? That's where red masterbatch plastic comes in. Technically, this is a color masterbatch, which is essentially a concentrated pigment mixed with a carrier polymer. Instead of mixing raw, messy pigments into your plastic, manufacturers use these neat, pre-mixed pellets. You just add a small amount of masterbatch to the natural base polymer, like the LLDPE we just talked about, to get a vibrant, consistent color. While we're talking about red, it comes in every color imaginable. Because it's a specialty product, it's more expensive, costing between 450 and 650 rupees per kilogram. Alright, let's switch gears from plastics to metals. First on our list is art chant. In the scrap metal world, this is known as light iron scrap. Imagine thin sheets of metal, old tin cans, and other lightweight iron materials. The key here is light and relatively clean. It's not the heavy-duty stuff, but rather the odds and ends that are easy to collect and process. For businesses that recycle metal, this is a common and high-volume item. The price for art chant is currently around 180 to 195 rupees per kilogram. Next in the art family is art toke. This translates to mixed iron scrap. Unlike art chant, art toke is a mix of various small iron pieces of differing quality and thickness. You might find nuts, bolts, small cuttings, and other miscellaneous bits all jumbled together. Because its composition isn't uniform, it's generally considered a lower grade of scrap compared to others. This is reflected in its price, which is usually between 170 and 190 rupees per kilogram. It's the cheapest of the iron scraps we're covering today, mainly due to its mixed nature. Moving up in quality, we have art NIGAR. This is the local term for what is known globally as heavy melting scrap, or HMS. As the name suggests, this is thick, dense, and heavy iron and steel scrap. Think of old structural beams, pieces of machinery, or thick plates. This material is ideal for steel mills because its density means it doesn't lose as much volume when melted down in a furnace. It's a much more desirable grade of scrap, and its price reflects that. Sitting between 190 and 210 rupees per kilogram. Finally, in our iron scrap category, we have art Q toke. The Q here comes from kanchi, the Urdu word for scissors, referring to a shearing machine. This is machine-cut industrial iron scrap. It comes from factories and workshops where industrial shears cut metal into uniform, manageable pieces. Because it's clean, uniform in size, and of a known quality, it's highly sought after by foundries and mills. This premium quality scrap commands a higher price, typically between 200 and 220 rupees per kilogram. Now, let's talk about steel in its more refined, semi-finished form. You'll hear vendors refer to billet, but they often specify bala or bari first. Billet bala. This is the good stuff, technically known as prime steel billet. A billet is a long, rectangular block of steel that comes hot off the casting line. Prime billets are high quality, free from major impurities, and have a precise chemical composition. They are the raw material for rolling mills that produce high-quality steel bars, rods, and structural sections. As a premium product, it costs between 245 and 265 rupees per kilogram. On the other hand, you have billet bari. This is a secondary steel billet. These billets are of a lower grade, often produced from remelted scrap iron, and may contain minor impurities or have slight variations in their composition. While not suitable for high specification applications. They are perfectly fine for producing general-purpose steel products like rebar for less critical construction. This makes them a more economical choice, priced at around 230 to 245 rupees per kilogram. So, Bala for premium quality, Bari for standard. Let's move on to some specialty items. Have you ever heard of a shim sheet? This is a direct translation of its technical name, which is a metal shim sheet. These are incredibly thin sheets of metal, usually steel or brass, used for filling tiny gaps or making precise adjustments in machinery. Think of it as a paper-thin metal spacer used to ensure perfect alignment and tolerance. They come in a huge range of thicknesses, from a hair-like 0.01 millimeters up to 3 millimeters. The price varies wildly based on size and thickness, from 1,000 to 4,000 rupees per sheet. A specific type of this is the brass shim sheet. Its technical name is brass alloy shim sheet, made from a copper zinc alloy. Brass is used instead of steel when you need good corrosion resistance and electrical conductivity. That's why you'll often find brass shims used in electrical panels, switchgear, and sensitive precision machinery where you can't risk rust or electrical interference. Because brass is more expensive than steel, these sheets are pricier, ranging from 3,000 to 6,000 rupees per sheet. Next up is a seriously tough material, D2 steel. This is its common name worldwide. The technical term is high carbon, high chromium tool steel. The high carbon content makes it incredibly hard, and the chromium makes it resistant to wear and abrasion. This isn't your everyday steel. This is what you use to make tools that cut or shape other metals. We're talking industrial dies for stamping parts, punches, and heavy-duty cutting blades. It's a specialty steel for demanding jobs, and its price reflects that, at 852 1,200 rupees per kilogram. Finally, let's end with the most common steel of all, mild steel, or MS as it's often abbreviated. Technically, this is low-carbon steel. It's the workhorse of the metal world. It's not as hard as D2, but it's strong, easy to weld, and relatively inexpensive. This makes it incredibly versatile. It's used for just about everything: building frames, general fabrication, car bodies, furniture, and countless other engineering applications. You'll find it priced between 240 and 270 rupees per kilogram. And there you have it, a complete guide to understanding the common terms for plastics and metals you'll hear in local markets. From PP crushed Dana to mild steel, you now know the technical names, what they're used for, and what they cost. Hopefully, this clears up some of the mystery and makes you feel a lot more confident next time you're around these materials. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Let me know in the comments if there are any other local terms you'd like me to decode. See you in the next one.